Hey, Stormwind, your city walls are so tall, I figured they were compensating for your DPS.
At least I have walls. Didn't your last war chief tear half your city down himself?
I'd say something, but I'm still recovering from being left unread by Ogres for 15 years.
That's harsh, but can we all just not? Maybe talk about peace and...
Shut it, Cliff Cow! You sit on your rock all day doing nothing. Come dig a tunnel like a real country.
No.
Jealousy is unbecoming. Our pyramids are taller. Our loa are louder. And our tourism is booming. Darnassus, can you say the same?
Ishnuallah, I'm still literally vaporized. But thanks for the shout out.
We'd offer condolences, but we've been too busy saving the Alliance the past few expansions. You're welcome for the Navy, by the way.
According to my calculations, if we converted our fuel economy into mana ratios, we could...
Disgusting. No wonder the Horde keeps losing style points.
Oh, really? You run on magic crystals and abandonment issues. Plus, you knew what you signed up for.
Honestly, your biggest military strategy is yelling, "For the Horde!" and hoping it works.
Also, do you realize your capital has had like 5 coups? And yet, they still get more screen time than us! All I wanted was a tunnel-themed dungeon with trains! Is that so much to ask?
I miss Sylvanas. At least she had a vibe.
Hello everyone, Willith here. Welcome to part 2 of 4 more races that I feel should absolutely join the Horde. So without further ado, let's begin. You know what the Horde is missing? Girth. Pure, unapologetic meat wall energy. We've had gnomes, and goblins, and foxes, and pandas, and tree elves, and undead elves, and elves that don't like those undead elves. But we still don't have that one race who was literally founding Horde material. So their history and their current state. Let's rewind a bit. The Ogres were part of the original Horde back on Draenor. They helped crush Stormwind in the First War. They've been smashing faces, enslaving dragons, casting 2-headed fireballs, and yelling, "Smash good!" since before Draenei ults even landed on Azeroth. Sure, they had an empire. The empire has now crumbled, as ogreish empires do. And now they're scattered across Azeroth like big, dumb puzzle pieces. Many clans, like the Stonemaul Ogres, have actively worked with the Horde for years. And honestly, at this point, it's just flat out rude they're not playable yet. These guys are basically subscribed to the Horde newsletter and still can't make an account. So, what do they offer to the Horde? Now, Ogres may not bring land, but what they do bring is frickin' raw power. We're talking frontline wrecking balls who can tank 10 arrows and still crush you with a tree trunk. War mages who hurl literal meteors. Don't sleep on ogre magi. Natural born brutes, shamans, gladiators, enforcers, and siege units with legs. The Horde is about strength and survival. The ogres are a walking embodiment of both, plus comedic value. They're scary, sure, but also the kind of scary where you can't tell if they're going to smash you or ask if rocks count as friends. They're perfect. Now, why would they join the Horde? Again, quite simple. They already have. The Stonemaul clan officially joined the Horde back in Warcraft 3. Rexar pretty much just helped them out. They joined the cause, and boom, they've been Red Banner buddies ever since. Now, we've seen ogres in the Horde army, in the Kor'kron, in garrisons, in the barons, and even cheering in the Brawlers Guild. The only thing they haven't done yet is stand in Orgrimmar next to a transmogmander like they belong there. The lore is already done, the relationship is already canon. Blizzard just needs to stop pretending like we haven't been asking for these units since Burning Crusade. Now that we've established why'd they join, how would they join officially? Picture this. A small Horde campaign into Dustwallow Marsh or Feralis, where the player helps unite scattered ogre clans under a single banner. Bonus points if it's a descendant of Cho'Gall, who isn't evil for once. A diplomatic questline where the Stone Mob push for full Horde integration. A final battle where an Ogre Shaman calls down lightning on top of an Alliance outpost and laughs and then yells, "We get banners now, right?" Boom. Playable. You're welcome, Blizzard. Right, onto customization. Honestly, the visuals on this would be pretty awesome. Imagine one-headed and two-headed variants. Tattoos, war paint, bone piercings, tattered gladiator armor, or jungle-inspired regalia as like the heritage set on it. Actually, I really want that now. I want an ogre. Blizzard, can I just please have my ogre boys? Also, side note, I feel like ogres would have like the best dad jokes. But that's just me. Now, classes. Warriors are obvious. Shamans, ogre geomancers, and just stormcallers. Mage, because two-headed mages are iconic. Hunters, because throwing boulders counts. And honestly, let's get weird. Give us ogre monks. They'd be the equivalent of sumo wrestlers. Big guys with belly punches and headbutts. Zero elegance, but all damage. Now as for racials. Knockback resistance. I mean, because you try moving an ogre. A club swing attack, just like an AoE ability. Bonus strength after eating. Yes, a food-based buff. Very on brand if I do say so myself. Honestly, at this point, ogres are the Waluigi of WoW. Beloved, memorable, cleverly viable, and still somehow left out of the game. Enough is enough, Blizzard. Let the boys in. Let us smash for the Horde. Ah yes, the Quilboar. A noble pig-like people whose greatest cultural legacy is ambushing noobs in the barrens while screaming incoherent oinks. But what if I told you these tusked troublemakers actually had the potential to become valuable, loyal allies of the Horde? I know, you've spent most of your WoW career cleaving through them for quest XP and boar meat, but maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop the slaughter and start the negotiations. Right, let's dive into their history and their current state. The Quilboar have been around forever, mostly as problems. Scattered tribes, territorial disputes, creepy necromancy, weird thorn magic, and of course the classic stab anything that moves policy. But let's be real here. By now, the Horde has absolutely stomped them. Their warlords gone, their military strength shattered. What's left is a bunch of disorganized, desperate survivors clinging to thorny hovels in the dirt. They're honestly just no longer a threat. They're just rogue elements and bandits. And they know it. Which is exactly why this is the perfect time for the Horde to make a move. Now, what exactly do they offer to the Horde? First off, land. Now, not a lot of land, but strategic pockets across the Barrens, some in Mulgar, and even a few dens in contested zones. Unifying them would solidify Horde control over the central continent and finally put an end to the constant Quilboar raids on your caravan nonsense. No more pig ambushes, no more random thorn fences in the middle of the road, just one united quill-free Barrens. Also, let's not forget, these little guys are absolutely ferocious. Quilboar warriors are savage melee fighters who charge headfirst into battle with bone weapons and zero fear. They also have a strong spiritual tradition, complete with geomancy, thorn magic, and even necromancy in some tribes. Because, hey, who doesn't dabble in a little dark arts after a rough patch? They could make for great foot soldiers, shamans, warlocks, and probably terrifying druids if they ever stop turning into bushes and start turning into bears. Plus, once settled, I bet they'd be great farmers. I mean, you don't live in mud pits without learning how to grow stuff. Just imagine Quilboar cultivating cacti and thistle in the Barrens, feeding the Horde and finally being more useful than mob that dropped your first grain. We got their uses out of the way. Why the heck would they even want to join? Let's be honest, they don't really have a choice. The Quilboar have been absolutely wrecked. Their tribes are disorganized, their leaders are gone, and the best path forward for them is just survival. Here's a list of what the Horde offers them. Security, aka not getting curb stomped by adventurers every 10 minutes.
Go.
Resources, food, water, actual tools instead of bone sticks. Trade. Imagine a Quilboar marketplace with thorny trinkets and cactus jewelry. Oh wait, I meant cactus jerky. Yeah, cactus jewelry would be unpleasant to say the least. You know, actually, cactus jerky might be unpleasant too. We'll go with cactus milk. Anyway, continuing. And finally, representation. Finally, someone gets to shout "squee" at the Horde Council meetings. Plus, culturally, they're actually a natural fit. They're tribal, they value strength, they worship spirits and the land, and they already live in Horde territory. The transition writes itself. How would these bad boys join? It's simple. A new pig boar chief rises, who is tired of losing and smarter than your average bacon boy. He unites the scattered tribes and sends envoys to Ogres asking for peace and prosperity and proposing unity. The player then helps negotiate the deal, stomp out a rogue holdout or two, and boom, the Quilboar become official Horde members. Just imagine the cinematic, a Horde banner being planted in Razorfin Crawl, and a bunch of grunting Quilboar saluting awkwardly while trying not to poke themselves within their own armor. Alright, customization. Honestly, I think playable Quilboar would just absolutely slap. Visually distinct, intimidating, kinda, and frankly adorable in a very deadly way. Imagine different tusk shapes, carved, jagged, polished, treble war paint, bone piercings, fur patterns, and thorn tattoos, because you gotta have those thorns. Spiked shoulder armor, stitch hides, and bark-inspired cloaks. Maybe bark-inspired cloaks. I don't know about that one. Alright, classes. Warrior, shaman, and hunters are just obvious. Druids, leaning into their wild nature themes. Warlock for the dark spirit tribes. And I could even see Death Knights as like maybe a heritage unlock. Quilboar DKs would just be absolutely nightmare fuel. As for good old racials, maybe bonus movement through caves and grasslands. I mean, they are burrows. Burrows. I can't say it. They're diggers, dang it. Thorn Aura, tiny passive damage to melee attackers. I don't think that'd be added, but frick, it'd be cool. Increase yields from herbalism. Dirt farming pros, you know, I mean, makes sense to me. A freaking snort of rage. A racial that boosts crit chance but reduces hit chance because chaos. The Quilboar may have started as bandits and mob fodder, but now they're the underdog, ready to bore their way to glory. So let's stop farming them and start recruiting them. The Hozen. You know them, you love them, or at least you've heard them scream "Ookenduker" while throwing mud at your head during your Pandaria leveling days. These guys are honestly just straight up chaos gremlins. But hear me out, they're also very Horde as heck. Let's dive into their history. The Hozen technically joined the Horde back in Mists of Pandaria, but let's be real, it was more like, hey, we both hate the Alliance, right? And we like punching things, so let's team up until this expansion is over. After that, they kind of just faded back into the jungle with nothing but bananas and war stories. But with the world changing and the Horde needing solid allies across every continent, now is the perfect time to make the Hozen official. But what the heck do these guys even offer for the Horde? Location. The Hozen control valuable territory within the Jade Forest, the lush, green gateway to Pandaria. If the Horde locked in that alliance, they'd have a strategic foothold on an insanely resource-rich continent. Just think of it. Exotic herbs. What the frick did I just say? Exotic herbs, rare metals, magical beast hides, bamboo, probably cursed, but hey, it looks cool. And also, do not underestimate Hozen jungle warfare. These guys know the terrain like the back of their hairy hands, can set up ambushes in a blink of an eye, can climb, swing, and parkour around your average knight like they're in a fantasy episode of Ninja Warrior. Plus, they're tribal, spiritual, in the dancing sense, and all about strength and loyalty, which means culturally they vibe well with the Horde's whole aesthetic. Also, again, let's be real, no one party's harder than the Hozen. Like, every Horde celebration would just immediately level up. Like, you haven't lived until you've watched a Hozen keg flip over a war drum during Ogres Brewfest. So, why the heck would they want to join the Horde? The Hozen might be rowdy, but they're not stupid. They know the Horde respects strength, the Horde defends its own, and the Horde lets you punch things for fun and profit. Plus, joining the Horde officially would give the Hozen access to just far better weapons and training, trade deals and supplies, bananas, bombs, and banana bombs. A seat at the Horde table, finally allowing them to hoot, holler, and vote in important military matters, or at least cheer from the sidelines. Also, their Pandoran neighbors are, let's be honest, kinda judgy. The Horde, on the other hand, not so much. You want to live in a treehouse and yell at clouds? Go for it. As to how they would join, simple. A Horde ambassador returns to Pandaria. A new Hozen chieftain steps up, smarter, wiser, and with much less poop-throwing tendencies. Finally, a big ol' ceremony involving dancing, yelling, fireworks, and probably an accidental forest fire. Congratulations, the Horde just got 30% more bananas and 100% more personality. As for customization, body types from wiry to chunky, fur pattern, spotted, striped, jungle camo. Actually, can you imagine like a tiger-themed Hozen? Oh, dude, sign me up. Ear shapes, face paints, ceremonial beads, because why not? Accessories, bone jewelry, palm leaf cloaks, banana belt buckle. Right now, classes. Monk, obviously, they're natural martial artists. Rogue, tree-bleeding ambush specialists. Hunter, jungle survival pros. Shaman for those spirit rituals and elemental dancing vibes. And warriors, because, you know, we've seen them fight. It's basically MMA meets slapstick. As for racials, let's do tree leap. Short cooldown mobility skill to jump between enemies or terrain. Banana boost. Pop a banana to restore HP over time and gain agility, maybe. Ukin Frenzy. Increase dodge and crit when under 50% HP. Bonus to speed when in forested areas. Maybe. These guys just aren't comic relief anymore. They're your fastest, funniest, foot-stomping faction fighters. So yeah, Blizzard, let the Hozen join the party. Because every Horde needs a little more chaos. And maybe just one monkey who yells banana smash before roundhouse kicking a paladin off a cliff. Okay, hear me out. The Vrykul. Yes, I know that they're ancestors of the humans. And yes, they're 8 feet tall, probably smell like iron and pine tar, and yes, they once called humans tiny weaklings unworthy of Odin's blessing. But listen, if you look at everything else about them, these absolute frostbitten giga chads scream Horde. Let's dive into their history and culture. The Vrykul have been kicking around Northrend just forever. From Utgard Keep to Stormheim, they've been fighting dragons, punching sea serpents, wrestling bears for breakfast, all while yelling about honor, ancestors, and the glory of battle. They're the original stand tall, die loud, drink after people. And while the Alliance might share bloodlines with them, culturally, they'd much rather eat a cursed axe than deal with any kind of paperwork. Right, so why would they join the Horde? Let's be brutally honest here. Just imagine trying to tell a Vrykul warrior he needs a permit to duel in the city square. They're clan-based, honor-bound, and strength-respecting. Which means they take one look at Ogre and go, ah yes, home. They're literally the spiritual long-lost cousins of the orcs. Seriously, ancestor worship, check. Brutal rites of passage, check. Massive weapons forged by shouting into the cold, triple check. They would vibe with the Horde just instantly. And the best part, the shade potential is absolutely immense. Your bloody ancestors chose to side with us over you. That should tell you something. Ah, the roast, the burn, the legacy. Now, what exactly do they even offer to the Horde? First, territory. More land and strongholds in Northrend, such as Stormheim, Skoldshiel, and Utgard. Resources, like rare northern metals, drake hides, enchanted artifacts, and fresh fish the size of frickin' Kodos. Lastly, troops. Literal giant warriors riding frickin' drakes. You want intimidation? Send Vrykul shock troops down a hill on Storm Drake shouting death chants. Holy moly. Also, these dudes literally swim in sub-zero water just for fun. What is the Alliance gonna do? Throw a guard and plate armor against that?
I don't think so.
They're winter warfare specialists with abs that can deflect arrows. With these guys, the Horde would instantly become the most metal faction in the game. So, how would they join? It wouldn't even be complicated. Just picture this. A Vrykul clan leader grows tired of sitting in cold ruins, waiting for Odin's next memo. The Horde arrives, challenging them to an arena-style alliance ritual. There's blood, fire, ale, and someone gets launched off a cliff. Then everybody claps. The Vrykul would join not out of desperation, but out of respect. Choosing strength, freedom, and an ideology they understand. Right, under customization. Okay, to be honest, playable Vrykul would just be everything we love cranked up to 11. Glowing tattoos and war paints, braids and beards that could possibly strangle a murloc, armor that looks like it was forged from thunderstorms. Alright, classes. Warrior, duh. Shamans, oh man, storm magic baby. Death Knights, obviously. Paladins, freaking olden style stormlight infused berserkers. Like, I really want that actually. Next up, racials. Glacial Charge, increased movement speed in snow. Ancestor's Might, bonus strength or stamina after killing an enemy. A Drakebound, small passive mount bonus or dragon flavored emote stuff. A frickin' Battle Shout, temporary group-wide damage buff when entering combat. Would Blizzard add these? Heck no, but they'd be cool as heck. So yeah, let the Vrykul in. Let them bring their drakes, their frost-forged warblades, and their booming laughter to the battlefield. Because nothing says the Horde is inevitable like the literal ancestors of your enemy showing up to party with you instead. And there it is. 8 glorious, chaotic, lore-backed, meme-approved races that the Horde absolutely deserves to have on the roster. If you like this video, please subscribe. And until next time, guys, see ya!